Hello. As Ivy League colleges become corporations, should they be run by business executives and not academics? That is, as Ivy League colleges become corporations, should they be run by business executives and not corporations? And I think you have Harvard. I think Harvard has an endowment fund of about $50 billion, so it is the richest university in the world. And I think Yale is about $40 billion endowment. I think UPenn is about $22 billion, and I think MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology endowment is about I think $35 billion. So these are not just universities; they are corporations in their own right. And I think one of the qualities, one of the key skills that a university president these days should have is the ability to fundraise. So these universities are always fundraising. I think you had Harvard during between 2010 and 2018. It was during the era of due force. So basically, it had a way to raise about $10 billion, and it did that so successfully. And I think Yale also under Peter Salovey, Yale also had I think a capital campaign in which it raised about $7 billion. So these are not just academic institutions. I think now we are not in the era of this becoming small colleges, private liberal colleges. They are corporations in their own right, and someone says the business of these colleges really is not even academics, is to manufacture successful alumni. That's why I think about a third of the students in these colleges, and that's why I think a third of the students in these colleges go to consulting and high finance. So basically, they are not going to careers maybe that have a higher mission, maybe like teaching, maybe like research. And I think if they are going to high finance and consulting, because that's where the lucrative jobs are, so that and I think the university is invested in that because they want these students to be more successful in life later on, so that they can then begin to donate back to their institutions. And I think this is something that maybe we should be addressing. How can these colleges, that is, how can these students in Ivy League colleges go to careers that is aligned with their purpose and mission? I think you have Howard, I think maybe coming up with, I think, an aid package. I think it was about $50,000 to students that are going to public service careers. I think it was the Howard Kennedy School of Government. So basically, I think right now, I think the pressure to succeed in these colleges and success in these terms, in this case, is in terms of money and professional success. And I think so. I think these universities have now become business entities, and maybe academics will not be running them. It should be business executives. Of course, professors will object to that. I think a lot of a lot of these colleges, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Yale, Princeton, a lot of these elite colleges, professors want a president that is also an academic first and foremost, and of course they would object to a business executive, an administrator running these colleges. But the universities, I think they are heading towards this trend. I think they have a huge layer of administrators made up of all these administrators and that are charged with overseeing various maybe capabilities within the colleges. I think the number of administrators is even more than the number of faculty, and I think that's what goes wrong in these institutions. And I think maybe the layer of administrators should be decreased, and then of course the university should have maybe an academic who has also a business executive experience, or who has spent some time in the industry. I think right now, you look at the Harvard president, Claudine Gay. I think she was picked up. She was previously the dean of Faculty of Arts and Sciences. She was the dean Faculty of Arts and Sciences. I think it's the largest faculty at Harvard. So she was elevated from that role, and of course then became Harvard's the 31st president. Of course, she does not have any fundraising capabilities, and maybe that's why then for that to happen, then Harvard maybe has to train her in fundraising capabilities. Of course, she is a graduate of the famous, one of the most famous elite high schools in America, one of the richest elite high schools in America, that is Phillips Exeter Academy. Of course, that is also the alma mater of Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg. So I think she does not have that. She does not have that fundraising capability. So I think this is something that a lot of professors will be resisting, but I think a lot of donors will be wanting. A lot of donors will want that the colleges have someone that has some industry experience, or maybe pick from the Harvard Business School. Of course, I think before Claudine Gay, I think the former dean of Harvard Business School, Nitin Noria, was thought as a viable candidate to be the president of Harvard, but I think it was shut down. I think even before Claudine Gay, there was before Lawrence Bacow, Larry Bacow, basically. Before Larry Bacow, of course, he tendered his resignation, and of course, he went only for 5 years. So before Bacow, I think there was talk that maybe they should take in, that is Nitin Noria, the former dean of the Harvard Business School, so that he could be Harvard's, that is Harvard's 30th president. But of course, that was not follow through, and maybe Harvard should be led by maybe the deans of the Harvard Business School who have both academia, and I think the business school is both a teaching institution, and also it is also not just a teaching institution but also a place for training business executives. So I think maybe business schools, maybe business school deans should be the ones that should be leading Harvard University. But of course, you can expect that professors in departments such as physics or chemistry, or in engineering, they will resist much that a business executive should be the one running the university. But I think it should be so, because these universities are private, and without money they will not be able to attract top talent. And I think the beauty about these colleges is that they have enough money so that they can attract the best and brightest students, not just across America but from across the world. These colleges could attract can attract the best and brightest students from across the world, the best and brightest faculty from across the world. If they hear you are doing a world-defining research, they will basically they will come for you. And I think that's the beauty about these colleges. But they are able to do that because they have the money to be able to do that, and that money comes from donors, comes from investment in their endowment fund, profitably investing that endowment, so that I think they have about 5 or maybe 7% return on investment. So that's the money that is then poured over for operations of that college. And I think maybe it's something that they need to consider, so that then they become not just academic institutions but also corporations in their own right. But of course, in that same sense, they should not lose their souls. Basically, they should not lose their souls. So I think it's about balancing between being a corporation and also being an academic institution. And so they need people that are grounded in academics, but also people that are grounded in being business executives, or maybe have someone that has also industry experience. So it's a very hard skill set to balance. That is being a top-notch academic versus being a top-notch academic versus being a business executive. But remember, a lot of academics really detest the business, the corporate world. A lot of academics detest that, and so they will not want to be run over by some business executive. Remember, the reason why Larry Summers resigned as Harvard president was, one, yes, he made sexist comments that women were inferior in math and science. He did make those sexist comments, that is Larry Summers. But also he was shifting away Harvard from arts and humanities, from the liberal arts to hardcore STEM disciplines, basically science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So basically, a lot of the liberal arts professors protested, and I think if they protest against a university president, then they would go. So I think the resignation at UPenn by Liz McGill, I think maybe is not in line with also the questioning about anti-Semitic comments, the rise of anti-Semitism at UPenn. I think it was arising also rebellion within UPenn, and I think Harvard President Claudine Gay, I think she has about 600 faculty defending her, saying that basically they will come to her defense. So I think Harvard liberal arts professors will not sit down, will not take it lightly that the university president is more a business executive than they are academics, because they defend these institutions as much as their corporations. Their core mission is in academics, to take the next Nobel laureate in physics, to have a world-leading research in cancer, to find the cure for cancer. This is the core mission of these colleges. So they are not entirely corporations. That basic corporations just facilitate that money is going to help in their mission, but it is not their core mission. So you let me know on what you think of whether as Ivy League colleges become corporations, as they become very money-minded, should they be run by business executives and not academics? So let me know in the comment sections.